Howdy folks, welcome back to Boondockery. We are just days away from the new year, and with a new year comes change. And I'm going to change things up a good bit, and I'm going to go ahead and leave my old stomping grounds behind me. Actually, this is still the same stomping grounds. It's just way on the other side of the property. So I have filmed there pretty much exclusively, I don't know, for about the past maybe year. And this area is vast, and I'm going to make it a point to explore every bit of it in this next calendar year. What I'm going to do today, I have two primary missions, one of which is to find a long-term campsite for my cozy shack setup. And that's going to be pretty much my base camp. That's going to stay up for the entire winter season. And that's what I did last year. It worked out great. And got a few things I'm going to be doing a little bit differently this year to try to protect it from branches and things like that fall out of the trees. But my site selection is going to have the biggest thing to do with that. The second priority I have is I'm going to scout out at least 5 locations for winter hammock camping. And this site that I'm selecting for the winter hammock camping must also be conducive to ground camping too, because I'm going to do it all this winter. I'm going to ground camp, I'm going to hammock camp, and occasionally I'm going to stay in my base camp. Now, before we get too far into the video, and trust me, you're not just going to watch me walk around the woods. I got a few things for you for this video I think you'll like. But I just wanted to show you, this is the area that I have, with great appreciation, permission to camp, hike, whatever I want on. And I am very, very, very lucky and thankful. But today, what I'm going to be doing, I'll zoom in here, is you can see this little fish looking thing going off the side, that ridge line. I'm going to be exploring that whole area down around that ridge line. And believe it or not, it may not look like that much of a distance on the map, you know, about, I think every inch is about 2,000 meters, or 2,000 feet. So yeah, over this terrain and these woods, yeah, that's yeah, it'll get to you. But that's what I'm going to be exploring, and somewhere along the way I'm going to go ahead and dump my gear. I'll do a gear dump, let you see what I'm packing, talk to you a little bit, have a little bit of lunch, and then I'll finish up my actual work that I have out here. And if while I'm walking along I see the perfect spot to set up any of the camps or the camp for my base camp, you know, I'll let you check that out in detail. Well, this is the other ridge I was going to explore, and it is nothing but greenbrier. Nothing but greenbrier. I tried navigating my way through all this mess, and as a result I lost my camera remote, and so that's going to make a lot of my shots no good. And if you notice, the audio is a little different right now, and the reason it's different is because my camera battery died. The one battery I did not have an extra of. Everything else, got plenty of them. Not my microphone battery. So I'm going to spend a few more minutes trying to find my remote, and then try to figure out a plan B with this one. But anyway, as you can see, this area is not conducive to carrying a camera and tripod through. So this will have to wait for a time to where I'm not filming. Well, no luck finding my remote. So take Amazon a week or so to get me one, I'm sure. So and the battery, it is what it is with the microphone. So I'm just going to go ahead and shoot the rest of this with the camera microphone. Hopefully it's sufficient enough. If not, you might need to turn up the volume a little bit. I decided to hike the opposite direction from where I first started shooting. So I'm going the opposite direction, and along this ridge line there's all kinds of these little ponds. Now at one time all this land was timbered, and it very well may have been strip mined at one time or another too. So I don't know of the quality of this water. I don't know if it has sulfur in it, if it has any of the mining acids in it or not, but I'll get the camera over here so you can see it. But this thing is just teeming with salamanders. When I show you the surface of the water, any of these little ripples and stuff, it's all salamanders. I haven't seen any fish in it yet, but it's all salamanders. And this whole area is nothing but deer hoof prints. I mean, they are everywhere, everywhere. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if you can see it well or not, but there's actually a nice little trail around this. This looks like it could be in a park somewhere. But I have a friend of mine that's a science teacher, and he probably could help me out with getting some water test kits. And I'll come back and test this water and see if it's potable or not. You know, I have water filters and things like that, but you know, through the winter months, filtering your water isn't great, and boiling your water isn't going to get any chemicals or anything like that out. So I want to go ahead and bring the camera over close to the water, see if you can see any of those salamanders, and we will proceed from there. Well, hopefully you could see a couple of them. I saw them pretty clear through the viewfinder, so hopefully it came out well on the video. But it's just, they're everywhere. And this is December 28th, I think. And it's supposed to be cold. It's supposed to be winter. And but today it's 64 degrees. And so all of these salamanders decide, okay, it must be spring. So they're out and swimming all over the place. I think I'm going to go ahead and do a gear dump and let you check that out, and I'll get back to exploring. Look what I found. Just in case you ever happen to have a conversation with Mrs. Boondockery, she will remind you, or will tell you, that I'm a bit stubborn. So it was eating at me. So I hiked all the way over there to where I knew I was getting tangled up pretty good in the greenbrier. And I was looking and looking and looking, getting real frustrated because it's getting later. And I turned around, and when I did, walking in, I couldn't see this. It was under a leaf. And from turning around, I could see it under the leaf. That little bit of white right there, that gave it away. So praise Jesus. I tell you what, I used to be a pretty good scout. So this right here is just sort of like, okay, found the needle in the haystack. And so I still got some skills, if nothing else, right? So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put this someplace safe, and I'll be right back. Okay, before I dump everything, I just want to go over what I'm wearing and why I'm wearing it. Just to start off with, and then we'll break down the pack and my load bearing equipment and show you what I'm carrying today. Now, first of all, this is my SOCOM 16 made by Springfield Armory, and I've modified it quite a bit. It originally comes in like a standard stock. I mean, nothing remarkable about it at all. It's the exact same stock that they issued the fiberglass when they issued the fiberglass, when they found the fiberglass worked a little bit better in humid environments like Southeast Asia. And I replaced it with a Choate machine and tool pistol grip stock. Back in the day, years ago, I ordered quite a few shotgun stocks from Choate and for Ruger 1022 as well. And these things are bomb-proof. They are so rugged and tough. They may lack a little bit in their, appeal visually, but it was pretty nice. This originally came with a regular buffer tube that was nestled in this metal fixture, and with their butt stock. And I didn't really care for that, so I replaced the shoulder stock area. I'll walk this in a little bit so you can see it better. I replaced the shoulder stock section with an AK-47 side folding mechanism. So now for transport, it's much, much smaller than what it normally would be. And I also replaced the actual shoulder stock with a much more streamlined and more ergonomic Magpul stock. The sling system, as I literally cannibalized an old shotgun stock that I had, and just started playing with it, and I came up with a system I think works pretty well. And it's fairly comfortable. It's right where I need it to be. When I would need to go hands-free, it's not in my way. I just sling it over to the side, work on something, I'm good. So that's my long arm. The LBE, load bearing equipment I'm using, is manufactured by London Bridge Trading. This is an older piece of kit, and I have festooned it with magazine pouches, saw pouches, radio pouches, and things like that. If you notice, this is a pretty unusual pattern. If you've been with me for a while, you'll recognize this rig. I tried my hand at walnut dyeing heavy-duty nylon gear, and it didn't work so well. A lot of mistakes I made, and it came out really, really dark brown. So I discovered fabric spray paint, and I purchased some khaki fabric spray paint, and I have a video on that as well. I'll go ahead and put those in the end screen, so you can click on those if you want to see the walnut dyeing and the attempt at salvaging this to be able to use in the woods with the fabric spray paint. On the back, I've got a Molly 2 medium rucksack, which is one of the finest pieces of kit that the military made during the period that they were making all the Molly stuff. They're very difficult to find, at least I think they are, and they usually come at a pretty good price. Not a good price, but a pretty hefty price. And there's a reason for that. It's a fantastic pack. Super lightweight, super comfortable, durable. For a medium ruck loadout, it's perfect. It's perfect. And there's two main pockets on the exterior, one larger one on the bottom, one smaller on the top. And other than that, you have tons of Molly on there, or Powell's webbing, if you want to add more pouches to it. I personally didn't want to do that. And it's nice and streamlined, extremely comfortable, and I like it a lot better without all of the other pouches. I'm just wearing a pair of Wrangler work pants, and I wear these for work. I wear them in the woods, I wear them everywhere, any time of the year. In the summer, they're fairly cool, and the winter, with a base layer, they're perfectly fine. And they're inexpensive, about 20-25 bucks for a pair, regular price. I've got them on sale before as cheap as $8.99 a pair. They come in decent woodsy colors and things like that. They are made out of a spandex type material, so I don't rip the crotch out of it when I'm climbing over stuff in the woods, which is a huge plus. I'm also wearing a pair of Outdoor Research military issued Coyote Brown gaiters, and the boots I'm wearing are 8-inch Loa Zephyrs. I've tried all kinds of other brands of boots. Merrell, they make a good quality product, but after wearing those for several years and then switching over to the Loa Zephyrs, I much prefer the Loa Zephyrs. And you can get them without Gore-Tex or with Gore-Tex. Really, I don't see that big of a difference. I've owned both, and if you water treat or weatherproof your boots, you have pretty much the same water repellency with those as you do with the Gore-Tex. I'm not on the Gore-Tex bandwagon. I think that certain items are pretty good, but if you want something waterproof, you need to go back old school and get one of the Gumby suits from the Army or the Marine Corps. And it's rubberized vinyl, and it's waterproof. Gore-Tex, it's not waterproof. Water resistant, much better than a lot of other materials, but it's not waterproof. Anyway, also on my hip I have field knife. It's one of the Becker knives. Got it at an indoor flea market, super cheap. Does the job for me. And I have my regular everyday carry pocket litter stuff I have with me all the time. And other than that, a pair of decent work gloves. These happen to be the Impact Mechanics gloves, and they work out pretty well. All the stuff I do in the woods, I always will tear out the fingertips of my gloves, no matter what brand of glove that I get. I'll take that back. The only pair of gloves I've never done this to was my GI issue leather shells that went over the wool liners. But then again, I didn't do a lot of the same types of stuff then that I do now wearing them, because they were too cumbersome. They were too bulky. So if I needed to do something that I needed to manipulate with any type of precision, I just took them off. And but these things right here, high dexterity gloves all the way around, and so that's why the fingers wear out. Okay, couple things I forgot. Couple things I'm certain I'll be getting questions about in the comments. Yes, I did multicam with spray paint, just regular old spray paint, Krylon, whatever other kinds of cans of paint brands I had laying around. That's what I used to multicam it. The smock I'm wearing is a reproduction World War II German oak leaf pattern smock. And the thing that's really cool about this is it's reversible. You have like the spring colors or summer colors, and then you have the autumn colors here. They came out with all different variations of this throughout the lineage of the war, but I personally prefer this one over all of the others. The garment itself is fantastic. You'll see this as well as many other retro or vintage camouflage items I have in future video. And the other thing, my cap, I mean, it's just a Cryptek, I think it's Highlander cap, and other than that, I think that's everything. This is my Molly 2 medium ruck, and you can open this up and see that what the color it was after I walnut dyed it. It was a dark red brown, nice chocolate color, but it stands out, silhouettes really well. So as you can see, this definitely blends in better into the fall environment around my neck of the woods much better. I have my camera stuff, my GoPro, got all my batteries, my tools, stuff like that, with the exception of the 9-volt battery I needed for my microphone. There's 2 pockets inside the medium ruck that I put my water bottles in. That way they're not dangling off the side. Super easy to get to. Just take the pack off and get to it. And I like it better like that. If I'm going to be taking a break when I'm doing a scout, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take my pack off, so I can always get to them that way. If this were much more of a tactical patrol, I would have them on the exterior of my pack. Now, I have from Wilderness Innovations, their 3.5 ounce Osni. It's basically a poncho liner. I've got videos on that. If you want to check that out, it's pretty cool. And the Osni poncho. It's an oversized poncho, and all of the cordage and everything else I need, the toggles, everything else I need to set my poncho up as a hammock. Again, I have a video on these items. You can see all that stuff there. But I can also, with the stuff I have in here, set this up as a ground shelter as well. I've got my fuel for my Esbit rectangular cook set stove. Got a Mountain House meal. Got basic toiletries in there, primarily wipes. That's the most important thing I have in there. And this right here, it goes in every single one of my packs. It's just convenient. I have meds and stuff like that in there as well. And I also have my 10 C's of survivability kit right there. I'll break that down in detail. Pretty much all these other things I've got videos in the past, and this is another one of my must-haves. It goes with me every single time I go in the woods. Okay. Got a multi-tool blade. I have a fire kit. It has the Zippo store matches. Absolutely works fantastic. We've got fire steel and pocket bellows in there, and I've got some of my Surefire fire starters, and again I have a video on how I make those as well. And a triangular bandage, aka do-rag, aka cotton bandana. I have 1 and 2 torching devices. These are spare. And I have batteries for all of that stuff in here. I have a little stainless steel trowel that comes in handy for all kinds of little things. I have a variety of small cordage and sewing kit in here, and that right there will take care of all of my needs and necessities in the field should I need them. I have a 55-gallon bin liner. I have 2 hanks of 550 cord. This is a smaller one, more practical. I have a Baco Laplander, and I have zip ties in here, and I have some olive green mule tape. This stuff is the bomb. Super, super strong stuff. But anyway, that's the basic contents of my 10 C's of survivability. Okay, I'm going to do a rundown of my load bearing equipment. First of all, I wanted to show the knife that I had on my trousers belt, and it is a Becker BK18. I found this at the indoor flea market I frequent, and they were together, the knife and the sheath. I believe on their website they sell them separately. This is about $100 or so. This is like 60 bucks. This is in excess of 100, I'm pretty sure. And this was like around 60 bucks on the website. It's been a little while since I looked at it. Can't be certain on the numbers, but that's in the ballpark. I was able to get the knife and the sheath for 50 bucks at the flea market, and yeah, I was pretty excited about that. It feels great. I haven't had a chance to use this like I have my Essies, but I really like it. Okay, like I said, this is a older style. It was originally, I believe, in ABU pattern, which is the Air Force equivalent of the Universal Camouflage Pattern, UCP. And on it I have 3 magazine pouches. And the nice thing about this magazine pouch design is the fact that you can carry 1 .308 magazine in it, or 2 .223 magazines in it. And as you can tell, I hunt werewolves exclusively because those are silver bullets. And so I got 3 spare magazines with me, in addition to the one that's in the rifle. I have I'm certain I'm going to get some comments about this in the comments, but you know what? It's a Bofang AR-152, and this is, I believe, the 18-inch antenna. I've got a 42-inch antenna on there, and a handset, and a bunch of other accessories for it, but this works fine for this particular mission. For the price and the quality, I think I got a very good deal. It works perfectly fine for me. It's very rugged, and even though it may not be quite as powerful as what they market it as, it's more than powerful enough for everything that I'll be doing around here, and it's much more durable than my other Bofangs. In one of my saw pouches, this is my trauma kit and pretty much my survival pouch. I have survival matches here, storm matches. I've got my EMT shears, and I have a complete trauma kit. That's everything that goes in a USGI kit. Quick clock gauze, I've got packing gauze, I've got chest seal, I've got the air passage, everything, and tape, everything that comes in it. And that all is vacuum sealed in a Ziploc bag. So when I have to tear this thing open, I have a Ziploc bag in it to where I can keep all those contents together inside that pouch. I made this stuff up myself. I got a lot of comments about it last time I shared it, and in particular about my tourniquet being sealed. Well, I also have a tourniquet over here to the exterior of my rig, right where I can get at it. And so I have that available, and I have a backup tourniquet in there. I have fire starters, again my patented tried and true instant fire starters in here as well. A Bic lighter. I have hand warmers because it's supposed to start getting cold, and an emergency space blanket in there. I have moleskin, in addition to a very specialized boo-boo kit. I've got just about everything in here that I would need if any minor things were to occur. I've got tweezers, I've got Neosporin, I've got super glue, I've got sutures, I've got band-aids, all kinds of stuff that you could use in an emergency situation for first aid. And inside each one of my saw pouches, I have, this is just a political sign. They're made out of corrugated PVC, and this is super rugged, super strong material, and I use that to make the pouch more rigid, and it works great. It works absolutely fantastic to be able to get what you need out of this and get it right back in there, because the floppiness of this style of pouch, unlike the earlier Alice version of the saw pouch, it's pretty floppy. That's probably a 300, 200D nylon, and the others were definitely 1000D nylon, and it works really, really well on its own. They have plastic reinforcements in there, and it's made of a much heavier duty nylon than these are. All of this stuff was either ABU or UCP camouflage pattern. Again, the tourniquet to the exterior, 2 more M14 mags, and this is my little admin pouch filled with stuff. Wipes. I never leave home without wipes. As a matter of fact, my daily carry, I have wipes in my cargo pocket. I have grandkids, all kinds of reasons why I have these. And there's been a couple times where I have not had them and I could have used them. So I've got wipes, I've got my map case, protractor, map, I've got a spotting scope, Vortex. This is a 8 by 36 Solo RT. This is really, really nice. It has a reticle in it that is very similar to the military spec reticles that's on their optics. I have my GPS Garmin. This is an older model. It's the 755T. Still works great. I did have to replace the lithium battery on this. I also got an alkaline battery pack that replaces that just in case of an emergency. And I've been using this today. It's still on. Markers for my maps and my notebook. I have it's a Write in the Rain notebook. Nice little cover here. I've got markers, pens, and a pocket flare in there. Nice little thing. Essie put these together, put these out. Little knot tying guides. Just a nice little thing to have if you have somebody else out with you. You want to do a hip pocket class, do it with them. And I also have a signaling mirror in this. So all those little items come in really nice and handy when you're out scouting. And that, I believe, is that. Give you a little, I guess, scout's eye view of the terrain that I get to play with and enjoy. This is an absolute blessing to be able to have property like this and as much of it to be able to enjoy, to camp. I can hunt out here if I wanted to. I just come out and just take walks if I want to. But you can see there's a tremendous amount of potential with this terrain. There is a huge variety of forest here. If you look up here, see we got pine. It's mixed in with maple, oak, ash, all kinds of great stuff. And as you can also see, there's a lot of deadfall. A lot. So there's absolutely no shortage whatsoever of firewood. And even as far as that goes, I mean, even shelters. I mean, if I were to bring my chainsaw out here, so look at the size of some of this deadfall. I mean, I could actually build a cabin out of deadfall, or a three-sided cabin, something like that. But just tons and tons of potential. And I will be getting with my co-worker and getting some of those water test kits to come out and test all these pools of water, because they're all over the place on this side of the property. Not so much on the other. Where the greenbrier and stuff are, no. Hardly any whatsoever over there. Absolute abundance of game, forest. Yeah, I'm liking this. Well, as far as my scouting goes, I've been doing a good bit more hiking and exploring than I have been filming. So hopefully that'll make it short enough for a lot of folks to enjoy. But let's say it's, excuse me. Yeah, I got about 5 till 5. So I'm going to be losing light here pretty soon. It'll probably take me about half an hour, 20 minutes maybe, to get back to where my vehicle is. So I've got my headlamp and everything with me just in case it gets a little too dark. As you can see, there's a lot of tripping hazards out here. There's also a lot of hazards to lose eyeballs. So a lot of branches and stuff. That's one of the things I've been playing around with getting, is to get some safety glasses to wear when I come out here. There's been a lot of times I had really close calls having branches going in my eyes. And, you know, at this point in my life, I don't want to lose anything else. I don't want to lose my vision. So I've been looking at that stuff. But my big thing is, for whatever reason, I think it's because of the depth of my ocular cavity versus the bridge of my nose. When I get a pair of glasses that fit well, they steam up. So I'm going to have to, you know, look into remedies for that. But yeah, I think I'd feel a whole lot better, especially this time of the day, or, you know, before dawn and after dusk, having safety glasses on, because it's real easy to focus on one thing and then turn around, boink. Yeah, lost an eyeball. Everything's fun till somebody loses an eye. Well, folks, look forward to seeing me a lot out here and doing whatever it is I want to do. And hopefully it will be enjoyable for you guys as much as me. My new outlook is I am going to learn as much as I can by doing as much as I can. And I'll bring you guys along. And hopefully we'll be learning together. Because I've made a statement many times. It's like, I'm not an expert on anything. I'm just some guy with a camera. And but I do absolutely love this and all aspects of it, whether it's tactical or it's bushcrafting. It's just wild camping. I love it all. So I'm looking forward to this winter. And this will be the first winter in quite a while that I'm actually really going to be able to get out and do some, hopefully, weekend-long winter camps. Well, folks, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.